How to seduce women with female psychology, or is she manipulating you? Before we start the video, make sure to check out the 19min premium video for free. Link in the description. Manipulation refers to making attempts at indirectly influencing someone else's behavior or actions. Manipulation itself is not necessarily good or bad. A person can try to manipulate a person to help a worthy cause, or make a person do something illegal. But manipulation is never straightforward, often preying on our weak spots, so it makes it difficult to see manipulative behaviors. The controlling aspects linked to manipulation are sometimes very subtle and may be easily overlooked, buried under feelings of obligation, love, or habit. You can recognize the signs and avoid being a victim. Number 1. Notice if your girl always wants you to speak first. Manipulated people want to listen to what you have to say so they can find out your strengths and weaknesses. She will ask you probing questions so that you will talk about your personal opinions and feelings. These questions usually begin with what, why, or how. Her responses and actions are based on the information you have given them. Always wanting you to speak first should not be considered manipulation on its own. Take into consideration the other things the person does as well. The manipulated person will not reveal much personal information during these conversations but focus on you instead. If this behavior happens in the majority of the conversations you have with them, it may be a sign of manipulation. Although it may feel like genuine interest, keep in mind that there may be a hidden agenda behind all this questioning. If you try to get to know her, and or they refuse to answer questions or quickly changes the subject, it may not be genuine interest. Number 2. Notice if she uses charm to accomplish things. Some women are naturally charming, but a manipulator uses charm to get something. This woman may compliment someone before making a request. They may give a small gift or card before asking, or say they will do a favor to get the other person to do something. For example, someone may cook a nice dinner and be very sweet before asking the other person for money or help with a project. Be aware that while this sort of behavior is often quite harmless, you are not under any obligation to do something just because someone did something nice for you. Number 3. Look out for coercive behavior. Manipulators will persuade people to do something using force or threats. They may yell at a person, criticize a person, or threaten a person to get him to do something. The person might begin by saying, "If you do not do this, I will or I won't," until you. A manipulator will use this tactic to not only get a person to do something, but also to get him to stop doing a certain behavior. Number 4. Be aware of how the woman handles facts. If she manipulates facts or tries to overwhelm you with facts and information, they could be trying to manipulate you. Facts may be manipulated by lying, withholding information, exaggerating, or making excuses. Someone may also act like an expert on a subject and bombard you with facts and statistics. The person does this to feel more powerful than you. Number 5. Notice if she's always a martyr or victim. This woman may do things that you did not ask them to, and then hold it over your head. By doing you a favor, their expectation increases that you have to return the favor, and they may complain when you don't. A manipulator may also complain and say, "I'm so unloved/sick/victimized, etc., in an effort to gain your sympathy and to get you to do things for him. Number 6. Consider whether their kindness is conditional. They might be sweet and kind to you if you do a certain task well enough, but all heck breaks loose if you dare do it wrong. This type of manipulator seems to have two faces, one angelic one for when they want you to like them, and one awful one for when they want you to fear them. Everything seems fine until you fail their expectations. You may be walking on eggshells, afraid to make them angry. Number 7. Observe patterns of behavior. All people engage in manipulative behavior at times. However, people who are manipulators engage in this behavior on a regular basis. A manipulator has a personal agenda and intentionally tries to exploit another person for power, control, and privileges at the other person's expense. If these behaviors are happening on a regular basis, this person may be a manipulator. When you are being manipulated, your rights or interests are often compromised and are not important to the other person. Recognize that disabilities or mental illnesses can play a role. For example, a person who has depression may go into a genuine guilt spiral with no manipulative intent, and a person with it may have trouble checking their email regularly. This does not make someone manipulative. Number 8. Notice if you are made to feel inadequate or judged. A common technique is to pick on you and ridicule you to make you feel inadequate. No matter what you do, this person can always find something wrong. Nothing you do will be good enough. Instead of offering any helpful suggestions or constructive criticism, the person only points out the negative things about you. This can also be accomplished through sarcasm or jokes. A manipulator may make jokes about your clothing, the car you drive, where you work, your family, your appearance, or anything. Although the comments may be disguised as humor, the humor is used to take jabs at you. You are the butt of the jokes, and it is used to make you feel poorly about yourself. Number 9. Notice if you are getting the silent treatment. A manipulator woman uses silence to gain control. They may ignore phone calls, text messages, and emails for an unreasonable amount of time. This is done to make you feel uncertainty or to punish you because you have done something wrong. The silent treatment is different than just taking some time to cool off and then reconnect. It is used as a way to try to make the other person feel powerless. The silent treatment may be provoked by your actions, but may be unprovoked. If a manipulative person wants to make the other person feel insecure, randomly cutting all communication works well. If you ask the person the reason for the silence, they may deny that anything is wrong or tell you that you are being paranoid or unreasonable. Number 10. Recognize a guilt trip. A guilt trip seeks to make you feel responsible for the manipulator's behavior. It also puts you in control of the other person's emotions, happiness, failure, or success, anger, and the like. You will end up feeling obligated to carry out things for his sake even if it is unreasonable. Guilt trips are usually prefaced with statements like, "If you were more understanding, you'd," or "If you really love me, you'd," or "I did this for you. Why won't you do this for me?" For something you did not ask for. If you find yourself agreeing to things that you normally would not or things that make you uncomfortable, you may be a victim of manipulation.